I trusted you with my business. You sold those generators on credit? Who gave you permission?
I was only trying to help them.
Ha!
They are our oldest customers. Their house burned down yesterday.
Ha, customers? There is no hour. This shop belongs to me. Everything here belongs to me. Since you think you're so clever, you'll spend the night here. Maybe by morning you'll learn how to obey.
This is the story of Amoka.
Please let this be
Amoka
over.
grew up in a quiet village where her mother sold vegetables and her father repaired bicycles. Life wasn't easy, but they taught her something she never forgot. Your greatest wealth is your character. Nobody can steal it. She left school early to help her parents and eventually became one of the best saleswomen in the local market. She knew every customer by name. She remembered birthdays. She never cheated anyone. That reputation followed her wherever she went. Years later she met Tond. He owned a small grocery shop in the city. He told her he wanted a hardworking wife. Someone who would build a future beside him. Amoka believed every word. After they married, she worked from sunrise until evening. She arranged the shelves. She kept the accounts. She greeted every customer with a smile. Within 1 year, business doubled. People no longer said, "Let's buy from Tond." They said, "Let's buy from the woman in Tond's shop." Instead of appreciating her, Tond became proud. He reminded everyone that the business belonged to him. Whenever profits came in, he controlled every naira. Whenever losses happened, he blamed Amoka. She remained patient. She believed marriage meant enduring difficult seasons together. Then one afternoon everything changed. A customer quietly walked into the shop. "Madam, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I saw your husband this morning." "Where?" "At a restaurant. With another woman." Amoka forced a smile and continued serving customers. But inside, her heart broke. That evening she asked him one simple question. Instead of answering, he shouted. Minutes later she found herself locked inside the shop. She sat quietly in the darkness. At first she cried. Then she remembered something. Earlier that week Tond had asked her to organize every receipt, invoice, and bank record because he said paperwork confused him. Every file was inside the office drawer. She opened it. For hours she read every document. One receipt after another. One bank statement after another. And suddenly everything made sense. The shop was drowning in debt. Suppliers had not been paid. The landlord was demanding rent. Tond hadn't been making business trips. He had been borrowing money from everyone he knew while pretending everything was fine. The next morning he unlocked the door with a proud smile. "So, have you learned your lesson?" Amoka looked at him calmly. "Yes. I've learned more than you think." She picked up her small handbag and walked out without another word. Tond smiled to himself. He thought she had accepted defeat. He couldn't have been more wrong. That afternoon the biggest supplier arrived. He demanded payment. Tond promised to pay next week. The supplier shook his head. No more credit. Within hours, 2 more suppliers arrived. He demanded payment. Tond promised to pay next week. The supplier shook his head. No more credit. Within hours, 2 more suppliers arrived. Then the landlord. Then the bank. Without Amoka managing the books and customer relationships, everything began falling apart. Customers noticed immediately. The shelves became empty. Orders arrived late. Arguments became common. People quietly started shopping elsewhere. Meanwhile, Amoka accepted a management job at another supermarket across town. Within months, that supermarket became the busiest in the area. Customers recognized her face. They followed her because they trusted her. One evening Tond walked into that supermarket. He waited until closing time. "Amoka." She turned. He looked older. Tired. "I made mistakes. She nodded gently. You did. I'm sorry. She looked around the busy store filled with happy customers. I forgive you. Hope returned to his face. Then, can we start again? Amoka smiled sadly. Forgiveness doesn't always mean returning. She handed him a small shopping bag containing the groceries he had come to buy. Take care of yourself, Tond. She walked back into the store without looking behind. Months later she opened a business of her own. It wasn't the biggest shop in town. But every customer knew they would be treated with honesty and respect. Sometimes life doesn't reward the loudest person. Sometimes it rewards the one who quietly keeps doing the right thing. And every morning, as Amoka unlocked the doors of the business she finally owned, she remembered her mother's words. Your greatest wealth is your character. She smiled. Because in the end, that was the one thing nobody had been able to take from her.